Alrighty, well, we're going to take us a little walk. We're going to take us a little walk over here at Zephyrhills Park. And I'm going to finish telling you a story. Good morning, Rave. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Noah. Yep, I'm over here at the beautiful Zephyrhills Park. Hold on a minute. There's some birds out here waiting to see you guys. Look at all these. Look at all these birds around here. Just waiting to see you guys. And I have a sneaking suspicion that many of you... Hey, Kelly. I have a feeling that many of you on Facebook have been hitting refresh, just waiting for part 2 on I'm So in Love, It's Ridiculous. I've been excited to tell the second half of this story. The last video was abruptly ended. There were a couple things going on. I had somebody watching my live video and decided it would be a good idea to call me while I'm making a live video. That didn't work out so well. But anyway, so please, if you want to talk to me, wait till the live video is over. That would be nice. Okay, first of all, where did we leave? First, okay, I'm in Zephyrhills now. Obviously, I'm in Zephyrhills Park. I'll show you one more time. And it's beautiful. It is a beautiful morning. As you can see by the way people are dressed, it is a very nice day out. It's actually pretty warm already. I don't know what the temperature is going to be. My guess would be 80-ish, maybe, on the high end. Not right now, I'm saying later today. Okay, so I was in St. Pete. I even wore the same shirt today for continuity. You know, I'm trying to raise the production value of this video. I was going to shoot it in landscape, but, you know, you hold your phone sideways, all you can see is your face instead of, like, I don't know what else is going on. And hold on a minute. Good morning. Everybody here is so nice. So yeah, we're gonna walk around the lake. Oh, thanks for all the hearts. Hey, Lee. Hey, Klaus. Wow, okay, so there's a guy in the comment section here that we've known each other through YouTube for many years now, over 10 years. And I was in San Francisco, and we got to have a beer together, I think. I don't think we ate. I think we had a beer together. But yeah, it's nice to see you, Klaus. All right, so, oh my goodness. I've been wanting to tell you, I've been like setting, so the video ended kind of abruptly. I knew I wasn't going to be able to tell the whole story. Then, of course, when I get back to the apartment, Elsie, because I was visiting with her, Elsie saw that I was making a live video, then she watched the video, and then we laughed about it, and she thought it was kind of sweet. So there is a whole dog thing happening here, guys. I'm right in the middle of it. Here you go, check these little...
These are rescues. Yeah, so are these. Yeah, look at them, yeah.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, it's just like paradise. You just go out and walk your dogs, make some friends, chase a squirrel, feed a bird. What do you think, little buddy? Huh? What do you think? You want to say hi to anybody on Facebook? Don't jump on me, you little... You want to say hi to... I'm not bothering you. You know what? I'm just going to keep on walking. He does not look like he's going to mess with me today. All right. So yes, I know I'm already rambling. I'm so sorry. I went back to the apartment. Elsie saw my video. Good morning. Oh, Lord. These dogs have already lost their charm. I'm done with the dogs already. Please, I gotta walk faster. Yappers. All right. So, oh my God. And I posted it over up on YouTube. I haven't posted on YouTube in a while. So yeah, so it kind of got my vlog, because Elsie didn't mind. She didn't mind. Elsie, you're going to find out as I tell you a little bit more about her. She's a prolific, not a vlogger, but a blogger. So she writes about her life, a lot about her life. And I don't know, you'll see. I'll get there. All right, so where did I leave off? I left off on our first date. I told you to recap. I'm getting excited now. That I hadn't really been alone in a long time. A long, long time. And I started craving it. And out of a long marriage and a few relationships, I end up in a quiet space, finally loving myself and just enjoying being alone, enjoying being out of relationships, enjoying just myself and hanging out with Noah, and kind of for the first time just feeling settled and peaceful. And then at that exact time in my life, I have an opportunity to kind of begin a new career. I have taken a job with an app called Squad. I do user support. I do product stuff, but I basically do user. I kind of made up my own title, like it's user experience, and it means a lot of things, but I basically am the user experience lead at Squad, which covers a lot of things: product stuff, design stuff, experience stuff, just the experience that people have using the app. And it is an amazing job. I work with an amazing group of people. It's totally, completely different than being, self-unemployed. And I love it. And I want to talk to you a lot more about that later. But for now, I'm in this quiet space in my life. I get this job. The pace of my life kind of changes. Everything kind of slows down. And this woman pops back into my mind over and over and over. Elsie had captured my imagination. But the thing is what I was imagining was somebody that wouldn't, because she'd already, from our first interaction, she'd already let me know she was not interested in me romantically. She had to make a point of pointing it out. I guess I gave her freedom to continue talking to me without leading me on. So, did I hear what? You might have heard a jump plane. I am in Zephyr Hills, and yes, people do parachute and do everything out of here. I'm sorry. I appreciate all your comments and the way you guys, hang in here with me for these long stories. I try to be present for you and tell the story. It's kind of hard. I'm going to tell the story. So, So I keep thinking about this woman who I already know is kind of pushing me off. But that feels right. Because I can kind of get obsessed about things and people and stuff and be excited about wherever I'm at, whatever I'm doing. And I can get really excited about relationships and just kind of jump all in. I can get excited about a job and jump all in. And it's easy for me to kind of focus. It's hard for me to balance. That's what's really hard for me is balance. And I like the thrill of adventure. I like to throw myself into something and just be all in. It's just not sustainable. So that's the problem. It's not sustainable. So when I see her, as I'm reading all of her posts. I'm watching her life, and getting to go back through Facebook, and I'm really intrigued by this woman. I say to myself, she is going to be a safe person because she doesn't look like she wouldn't allow any nonsense. You know what I mean? Like she wouldn't have that needy energy that's like, hey, Paul, and I'd be like, oh, Lord, how can I say no? I needed to kind of be, I think, with somebody who was, uh-oh. I'm all right.
You hanging in there?
I'm all right. I'm making a Facebook video telling a long story. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
How are you?
That's my wife, yeah.
I don't have you on camera, honey. You're good. You're good. Does he talk to everybody, or does he just really think he likes me?
No, we're friendly.
Well,
I didn't bother you, did I?
No. I was just actually going to introduce you to my Facebook friends here.
Okay, go ahead.
Because well, they might want to get introduced too. Because he does.
It's okay, man.
Say hi.
Hi.
My name's Paul.
Paul's here.
And what's your name?
Herb.
See, I just met Herb. I tell everybody Zephyr Hills is a wonderful, friendly place.
It is.
So Herb's not bothering me at all. Herb, I'm telling these folks a story about this woman I'm madly in love with, and I'm telling them how I met her.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you guys get to walk. It looks like your wife's trying to drag you away quick.
Bye.
Bye. It was nice meeting both of you. Oh, Lord, she's just like, he talks to everybody. All right, I need to go sit down. I can't. There's too many nice people here. I like people too much. I want to go sit down on a bench over by the lake, and maybe I can finish telling this damn story. Even though I'm in no hurry because I do love telling it. So, I'm still in the recap. Jesus, I can't take it. I'm so sorry. Wasn't Herb amazing? Oh my God, Herb was awesome. His poor wife, though, I think she had drug him away from more than one stranger. She just looked already exhausted from the morning walk. So anyway, I think this woman is going to be nice and safe because she really isn't going to be that interested in me. But if I can get her attention and I can make her a pitch that we would be friends, that we should just hang out. Forget about all that romantic stuff. Let's just hang out and we'll let that stuff figure it out. Because I'm looking more for a running buddy, a friend, someone that I like really respect, someone I admire, someone we can just hang out. And I'm attracted to them, and so if the romantic part of it works out, great. So that's kind of what I was looking for anyway. So I'm like, so this will be fine. This will take forever for me to get her attention, and it'll just, everything will be fine. Everything will be perfect. So like I told you guys before, I start reaching out to her. I start trying to engage her in conversations and private messages, comments here and there. She'd put me off a little here and there, but she was pleasant, and she had gone to Vermont for the summer. So I patiently wait all summer long, having to, hear her talk about she's ready for love again and all these things. I mentioned it a little in my last video. It was painful. But, I was like, oh, well, we'll figure it out. So the end of the summer comes along. She ends up back in St. Petersburg. I create this entire scenario to be near her home and for us to have this first date. I reach out to her on the Saturday night before the Sunday afternoon where I'm going to be in town. She accepts the invitation for coffee. We're sitting in the Bikery, her favorite little coffee shop, right down the street from her house. She comes in wearing this cute little backpack. And she's a little taller than I thought she was going to be. And she was just perfect. She sits down. She definitely has, because of the way I know her now, she definitely had kind of, just a nice set of boundaries up for meeting a stranger. I had already spent a year, I didn't spend a year like thinking about her every day. I'm saying I had known her for a year. I was intrigued with her. I stayed intrigued with her, but it wasn't until probably, like 6 months ago when I started thinking about if I were going to go out into the dating world and if I could choose someone instead of have them choose me, and if I could, and I had all these things that I hadn't let myself do, and I focus in on her, then that's when I started kind of taking her more seriously. And then a couple months after that, finding out she's in Vermont by the time I have the nerve to reach out to her. And so there'd been a lot of buildup, and I'm sitting there across from her, and I just can't help it. I'm wanting to just go like, look, and I wanted to tell her what I was doing, what I was thinking, and I knew it was too much, but I couldn't stop myself. Like literally, we're just a few minutes in, and I'm like, I just need to set the stage. Like, look, I know you already told me that you're not. I know you already told me. That's how we start the date. I know you already told me you're not interested in me romantically, and that we would be friends. Well, let me tell you why I think we'd be friends. Because I really like you. I think we have a lot of similar interests. And she's kind of sitting right there going, And then I could tell it was awkward. I came on really strong. She was pleasant. But she wasn't overly anything. She was just pleasant. I didn't feel like I was blowing it. I just literally didn't. I was too worked up. I couldn't look at her in the eyes. Every time I tried to look at her in the eyes, I'd just be like, I can't stare at her in the eyes. Like I'd have to kind of look away. I thought she was really beautiful, and I didn't want her to feel, like I was so attracted to her that it like made her nervous, so I was trying to be cool, but I was also, it was a little awkward, okay? But it was kind of solid though, and it was a little ballsy. I was feeling confident. I was taking charge. I was saying what I wanted to say, but I definitely wasn't being cool. I was not being cool. I was like, I don't know what. I guess I was just being me. We extend the date, end up wandering around, just straight up, just back and forth, talk. Where are you? Tell me about this. Tell me about that. All that chit-chatty stuff. How is Vermont? Tell me a little about your life. Oh, what do you do for a living? And she's a web developer. She works at home. I knew a lot of this stuff because I had followed her on Facebook, but she starts telling me about her career. Yeah, she works from home. I work from home. She can kind of wander around through her hours and do stuff. So can I. And she doesn't have children. And so she's, that's pretty amazing. I mean, I have 4, poor her, but I'm just saying, I'm glad she didn't have any kids. What can I say? I have enough for both of us. That didn't come out right. I'm sorry, Elsie. Anyway, I'm sorry to my children. I don't know what I'm saying. Let me just get back to the story. So we wander around for a while, and I literally, this is going to be hard to believe, I run out of things to say. We're walking, and I remember at one point thinking to myself, like, I can't do any more small talk. I want this woman to just go home and think about me and go, who was this guy that just sat in front of me? He came on kind of strong, but I could tell, let me put it like this. And I realized later what she had been through. She had dated a lot. I was married for many, many years. She had not been married in 15 years. So she, obviously she dated a lot. And so she wasn't in a lot of long-term relationships. And she really loved herself. She loved her life. She's very independent. She was kind of in control, very much in control of her life, and liked it that way. Open to relationship, but not needy, So I was like, this seems perfect. There'll be a lot of, I haven't even had anything you guys can see where I'm going with this. And so we're talking, and I just know it's just going to take some time. There's nothing else to say. I know I'm not going back to her house. I'm not trying to make any moves on her. I'm like almost the opposite. I'm trying to let her know I don't have any, it's like I'm just being for real. I could tell she didn't dislike me, and I knew she kind of just had her guard up. And she was being funny when she was telling me, like she wasn't ever mean to me. She was kind of being kind of funny. And it was almost flirty, but just like back up, but a little. So anyway, it all felt okay, but I just kind of ran out of things to say. And at one point I kind of looked over at her and I was like, well, I don't know what else there is to say. I said, I kind of made my pitch. Here we are. It's taken us a while to get here. You're just taking a look at me kind of basically for the first time. I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm what you expected. I don't know if I charmed her or scared the shit out of her. I didn't know. But it was just over. And then she's like, well, okay. And then we kind of ended up on the corner of a street. And, I knew I was going home. It was the middle of the afternoon, there wasn't like we were going to hold hands and go back to her place. And, it just felt like it was over. And which was fine with me because I felt good about it. And so she says, I said, well, all right. So here's the deal. I said, I'm going to go home. I said, it was great hanging out with you. I can just tell you right now, I'd like to do it again. We passed a few restaurants and things that you hadn't been to, or you told me you liked, let's go to a comedy club, or if you haven't been in a while, like, just let me take you somewhere. Let's go do something. Let's just keep hanging out. And I did. I looked straight at her. I said, look, if you meet somebody and fall in love and wander off, I'll be happy for you. I said, and if I meet somebody, fall in love and wander off, I said, you'd be happy for me. And she kind of laughed about that. She's like, yeah, right. After you meet me, there'll be no wandering off, boy, unless I tell you to go. You know what I mean? She's kind of funny, but I can't say that she's wrong. But anyway, so here she kind of says that, I say that, and she kind of like scratches her head like, where is this guy? And that was it. And I wandered off, and I got my car and I left. And she sent me a little text because I decided I wasn't going to message her. And she sent me a text, hey, it was nice meeting you, and look forward to hanging out again. So far, so good. Second date. Now, I'm not going to go through this step by step, but I am going to give you a few highlights and try to maybe catch you guys up to today. I have a feeling that I will be sharing a little more of my life, a little more of my adventures, and I wouldn't be surprised, if I was making a few more vlogs, and occasionally we might even make some together. She's a social person. Well, I'm gonna tell you about that in just a second. I guess that's gonna be the next story I'm gonna tell you. So I don't even know if I have the timeline right on all of this stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's a second date kind of thing. And I remember us wandering around. I think we were going to an art hop or something. That could have been the third day. All I know is we were wandering around, and now we were a little more loose. I was a little more excited to see her. I wasn't nervous. We had not messaged very much. We hadn't messaged very much. It was just very quiet throughout the week, just like, yeah, let's do this. And I think she's like, yeah, there's an art hop. And I was like, yeah, that would be great. And so we can just kind of wander around and, continue to figure some things out and hang out. And so I remember her saying to me, look, I'm very direct, which I loved this about her. She says, I'm very direct. And I don't like to, I'm not really all about small talk either. And I'm like, okay, I like this. And she said, there are 3 things that are absolutely important that I get right with a partner. And anything past that, I can usually figure out. But there are 3 things that we have to get right. So, one is politics. Bernie Sanders is the love of her life. I can live with that. I like Bernie. Number 2, she said religion. And I said, and we had talked about these things on that date. because she brought it all up and everything, but I'm trying to give you the short version. And so she said religion, and then we were on the same page with religion. Exact same page. Different experiences, but we've ended up in a very similar place. And number 3, she says sex. And I'm like, oh boy, all right, did we really have to go there this quick? Like, I'm over here trying not to think about sex, trying not to be the guy, you know, who's like, when are we gonna have sex and what's she look like naked? Like, I'm trying not to be that guy. I'm just trying to be a dude, man. It's like go on a date and meet a nice girl. Like, sex? How can you even say the word sex to me on a second date? Like, and then I realized, well, I think all the women I've talked to have said the word sex. Most of them had sex on the first date. Like, I'm an adult now. People, if they feel comfortable with each other and they're single and they're lonely, they want to, you know, they want company. That's just the way it is. But I'm still kind of like, you can't say that. You can't talk about that. I did not have a lot of sex when I was young. I was in church and I had given myself to Jesus. And there was I was not giving up my virginity except to anyone except my wife. So I did not have sex when I was a teenager. I didn't have sex till I was 21. So, like, I know what it's like to say no to sex if I have to and still be in relationships, but I guess you don't have to anymore. I mean, I guess you just don't have to anymore. So anyway, so she says to me, we have to get the sex right. And I'm like, oh shit, where's this going? All right, so she's like, so I'm just going to tell you right now, I like sex a lot. And I need to be in a relationship with somebody who not just likes sex, but likes the kind of sex I want to have. She said, as a matter of fact, yeah, I know, you're laughing. You guys better start laughing right now because you're not going to believe this shit. This is date number 2. And she throws this down at me, okay? As a matter of fact, sex is so important to me that the last guy that screwed it up in a bad way, not screwed it in a good way, screwed it up in a bad way, I wrote a booklet about him. And it's called You're a Nice Guy, but You're Bad in Bed. And I want you to read my booklet. I've got the e-version, you know, the you know, we don't have to publish the thing. She is so excited to tell me about her ebook that she had already written, and that basically it was a manual to good sex with her. Now, she would say it's a manual to good sex with all women, and I would say, for the most part, I would agree. But since she wrote it, I knew it was specifically tailored for her needs, and we read. We read the thing together, and we laugh until we cry. We are literally crying. And I'm like, I can't believe you wrote this. And then she tells me the whole story, and she doesn't put the guy's name in it. You know, she's just a character. She has it illustrated, and she's just funny. She's quirky. And I'm like, oh. I said, are you going to write about me? Do I get to read? Just like people have said to me, Paul, are you going to mention me in a video blog? Now I'm worried that she's going to write a booklet about me. You're a nice guy, but you're bad in bed. And I'm terrified. Now I'm like, what the hell have I got myself into? And I realized that she is quite active, and she writes under other names, and she's formed women's groups, women with Moxie, and she's a socialite, and not a socialite, but she's very active and very social, and she writes about her life, she blogs about her life, sometimes more than others. And she has at times blogged about her dating in ways that I would vlog about it, and not mentioning people's names, just kind of telling stories and funny things that happen. just living life in front of people, kind of like I have. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm realizing this like on the second date, that I got a hold of a little bit more than I thought I was getting myself into. And I loved it. So we read this booklet and we laugh our butts off. And I can sense that her guard is coming down. And I can sense that she's warming up to me. On our third date, and that was it. There was no, I don't think there was no kisses, no hugs. It was still like I was still, on probation, and on my trial period hadn't ended. I still hadn't been into her house or anything like that. We're just meeting and then like separating. And on our third date, I remember we went to a place called Trophy Fish, which I just posted a picture of, and the title of the post just a few posts ago was called, something like some very sexy food or whatever, and there's a picture of some food from Trophy Fish. It is a really nice place, and it's like an outdoor restaurant. It's beautiful. Oh, it's so nice. Food's so nice. Everything's nice. We were sitting at Trophy Fish, and I'll never forget her saying to me, I'm kind of coming on strong. I'm telling her, we're talking. I was like, you like that too. That's what I like. You like that director. You like that movie. This is what you want to do with your life. Here's what I want to do with my life. I'm like, I've never been with someone so much like, not really like me, but we have like opposite stuff about us that's very complementary. But we have a lot of things that are similar that make, that would make a life with this person very comfortable because the things that you like are so similar and the ways that you're different are very complementary. And I could feel that. I think she could start to sense that. And so we're on our third date and I'm sitting at Trophy Fish and I'm going on and on about her and she's like, Paul, just take a breath. She's like, I love your amazing energy, but you're really super intense. And I think you're really smart and really funny and you're really awesome. But I just need to take it, She said, look, here's the thing, Paul. You've been falling in love. And she said the word falling in love. I had not mentioned, we hadn't even kissed each other. Like, I'm just like, she says, you've been falling in love with me for a year. But for me, this is our third date. Just let me catch up to you. Just give me a minute and let me catch up to you. Now, I didn't want to go, oh, I'm not falling in love. I just kind of let it lay there. You're falling in love with me for a year. It's only our third date. And I remember thinking, uh-oh. She's feeling it. Because she said she just let me catch up with you. She's trying. So I was feeling pretty good about it, and not in any hurry. Ready to kind of take my time with the relationship. I think I've found somebody to hang out with. I can tell I'm plenty busy doing all the other things that's going on in my life. So I'm happy to just say goodbye. I'll see you later. See you next week. Whatever. I'm feeling great. We get back to her house and she says, we kind of park in the driveway. I kind of skipped this little story. I'm getting the timeline mixed up a little bit because this was actually our second date and I've already gone to our third date. But she had this migraine and we kind of had to end the date early, and we went back to her place and she looked at me and she said, I could tell she didn't want the night to be over. This was our second date. This is how the night ended. When we were reading the booklet and everything, and she started laughing and her migraine went away. But she said, you can come up. Do you want to come inside? And I said, sure. And she looked straight at me. She says, we're not having sex. And I'm like, why does she keep talking about sex all the time? Like, we'll have sex when we have sex, or we won't have sex. Like, we're just hanging out. Like, won't that just take care of itself? And I guess it doesn't just take care of itself. And that's what you got to do, because people think if you do invite me up, I guess that means we're having sex. She didn't realize my head wasn't really in that space. I was somewhere else. I was just glad to be hanging out with her. And I really was. And we didn't have sex. We didn't do anything. She had a migraine. We read that booklet. We laughed our asses off. We did not have sex. Third date, she's thinking about that, and she tells me, she's like, yesterday, or not yesterday, but the last date we were on, that was really sweet of you. And, you came up and you rubbed my feet, and we laughed, and you just take everything, like I'm telling you all this stuff about me, and none of it's like shocks you or surprises you. You're ready to go do free hugs with me. She's like, where'd you come from? And I'm like, I don't know. Where have you been? And, we're warming up to each other. And then she kind of throws the line out to me, you've been falling in love with me for a year. It's only our third date. And then we end up back at her house on her couch. And it's only been 3 dates. It's the end. It's basically coming to the end of our third date. She's had enough conversations and experiences with me. It's been about a week or so, week and a half for these 3 dates. And out of nowhere, she jumps up and straddles me on the couch, sits straight on top of me, facing me. And she looks right into my face, and she grabs my arms or my hands or something, and she holds them, and she says, Paul, now look. And I'm like, what in the hell is going on? Oh my God. She's like, look, I like you, okay? And I'm like, all right, this is so good. This is good. Pretty good so far. So far, so good. That's what I was trying to say. And she said, she's got me pinned back on the couch. She's like, now I like you, okay? As a matter of fact, I think we could be something. Like, this isn't just a normal date, kind of, hey, I'll never see him again, whatever. She's like, I think I'd like to, I'll tell you what, I'm going to invoke the 30-day rule. And I said, the what? She said, the 30-day rule. She says, if I go out with somebody and I really like them, I want to go 30 days without having any sex. Now, once again, why are we talking about sex? Why is she talking about sex all the time? Because apparently most men are absolute pigs. And yeah, you guys, you're fucking pigs. You've ruined it for all the nice guys. You are scumbag pigs. And you don't know, you can't read any signs when you're having sex with women. You don't give a shit what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what they're doing. You're all into your... Apparently all you guys don't know how to make women have orgasms. You don't care. You're insensitive. I just keep hearing from all of these women. And then they're like, but you. I'm like, but me what? What am I... I know. Laugh all you want. I'm giving you guys some advice. I ain't talking to the women. The women fucking know what I'm talking about. I'm talking to the men. I remember her telling me, Paul, I'm a liberal, modern motherfucking woman. I do what I want, when I want. And I've been with lots of guys. I enjoy sex. I like blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here going, whoo, Lord God Almighty. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no apologies. And so she's going to get this shit right. I don't even know that there's 2 or 3 different ways to have sex. I mean, I'm just not that experienced, as far as volume. And, I've been in one, and I've dated a few women, and I've learned a few tricks, but I just don't think of myself as like, the ultimate lover. And I'm feeling like, now I'm just like, what in the world? How can I keep up with all of these? I'm never gonna. So that was a little intimidating for me, to be honest. I was a little nervous. But anyway, 30 days, no sex is what she tells me. And she's told me about all these other guys and girls and all these things, not girls, but I was telling her about all the women I'd been with. And different things that, we had laughed and joked. Now all of a sudden, I've never done a 30-day rule, except when I was a kid. And then I was like, I wonder if this really means that she likes me, or if this means, this is her way of just getting me a little, I don't know what's going on. No, I didn't think that. I thought she liked me, and I thought it was awesome. And she looked at me and I said, well, Elsie, listen. Elsie, now listen, I said. Let me tell you something. You might have just screwed yourself, literally, with this little 30-day thing. I said, because here's what you think is going to happen. You think you're going to put out the 30-day rule. You think I'm going to be pulling all over you. You think I'm going to be chasing you around. You think I'm going to be begging for this and begging for that. I said, you don't know who you met, Elsie. You know what I'm saying? I said, you don't know who you've met. I said, if the girl that I want to be with, if this matters to you, 30 days, 30 months, I don't give a damn. I've already done this before. I've already held hands and looked into women's eyes, tell them I love you, and we're not having sex. I've already done that. This is a life I did this when I was a kid. I said, 30 days is nothing. And she's like, oh, well, she's like, don't worry. She literally said this to me. She says, well, it doesn't really matter if you have self-discipline because I've got enough for both of us. I said, well, let me tell you what, girl. You're the one that's going to need the self-discipline, not me. Because if this means something to you, I can guarantee you nothing's happening until 30 days is up, period. I'm not in a hurry. We could just date, go out, have a cup of coffee, keep meeting at a park for the next 30 days. I don't give a damn. I like you. I'm not going anywhere. She didn't believe me. She does now. I'm here to report to you on God's, even if I believed in God or whether I do or don't, let's just pretend there is one. There has to be one, okay? I'm the one that's a fool here. My hand to God. We did not have sex. And we got to know each other. We held each other. We kissed. We were sweet to each other. We cuddled. We spent a lot of time together. And sex was just off the table. Sex was just off the table. There was nobody having sex. There's nobody going, come on, can I just... There was nothing. There was like, it was something neither one of us wanted to do. She literally told me, she's like, I know we're going to have amazing sex. And I'm like, we are? Like, oh my, I mean, like, she's like me. She's like talking. She's articulate. She has ideas. She has thoughts. She's positive. She's amazing. She's talking to me like usually I'm the only one in a relationship that, not the only one, I can't explain it. It was perfect. And she says, we're going to have amazing sex. And once we start having sex, we're going to have a lot of sex. She's like, let's get to know each other first, or that's all we're going to do. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope. So, look, hopefully I'm not trying to be, we didn't have sex, okay? It was awesome. And 30 days goes by. We continue to enjoy each other. And she says to me, look, I'm not going to get into any more details. I will just say this. I am. Why not say this? I don't know. It's nothing embarrassing. It's really more about, she says to me, look, there's another thing. I take my health very seriously, and we will never have sex without, protection. I can get pregnant. And I was like, well, I've had a vasectomy, so we're good there. She's like, yeah, that's good, okay, but you're going to have to get some blood work because there's no way we're having unprotected sex. And I'm like, that sounds great. Even though I will be honest, I have had lots of unprotected sex when I shouldn't have, with people I shouldn't have, just believing that each other's being straight up. And it's risky, it's stupid. I've done it, and apparently she doesn't. And so we went to Planned Parenthood, and we did blood work together, and we had that all finished and done like right on the day of our 30 days. And, you know, that story definitely had a happy ending. And that was only 2.5 months ago, because we've only been together about 3.5 months. And we have just, I don't know, I keep thinking that, which we are taking everything slow and all that, but I didn't know this would come on. I didn't know I would be here. I don't think she did. We're kind of letting it happen one day at a time. Oh boy. Sitting on this little workout machine. I think I need it right now. Not this part. I need like some stretches or something. My lower back is a little tight. But look, I'm gonna wrap it up and say this. I feel like in 2020. So anyway, I am going to close out this video. I'm trying not to embarrass myself too much. There's people around. I just want to leave you guys with just one last thought. I can and I will focus on my desire to live the life that I've imagined. I can and I will stay close to this desire by reminding myself of it every day. No one can stop me but me. No thing can stop me until tomorrow. I'm trying to hold it back, as you can tell. And there's people. But I only have to believe it's possible. I only have to believe it's possible. I hope everyone was entertained. I only have to believe it's possible. Just for today. All right, thanks for following along. And I hope with all of my heart that if you're in a rough spot, you can know for me, for sure, good times are still possible. I've been there. If you're in a great place, make sure you encourage someone who's not. And if there's anything you can do to help them along, do it. Because somebody probably helped you. Lots of people helped me through a really difficult time. So, I wish you all well.